That her mother pay for the big day. The woman is 36, by the way, stating, "It's my first and only wedding. Aren't parents supposed to pay? So should parents be expected to pay for the big day?" Well, I mean, Lindarella, you did, didn't you?
Well, I did, but the other parents as well helped out a little bit. Lauren's dad helped out, and Brenda and Steve, Steve's mum and dad, helped out as well. But I had a few bobs, so yeah, she was able to have a really nice wedding, the wedding that she wanted in Cyprus. She gave everyone, all her family, 2 years' notice so they could save up to get out there and everything. So it was really, really lovely. It was 8 years ago, Cyprus, beautiful weather and a beautiful wedding.
But did you want to do it? I mean, did you think it was your duty?
Well, it's always been said that it's the bride's family that pay for the wedding, hasn't it? I don't know who made that up, but... It weren't me. But yeah, no, I was happy to.
But you like those traditions as well. It's quite a traditional thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you are one for tradition.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So yeah, we had a really, really lovely day. It was perfect. Lila was only very young then, so she was at the wedding, and it was really, really nice.
How does it work in your community, Shani?
So in the South Asian community, our weddings can cost up to £100,000.
But just like for regular people?
Just for regular people, your family.
What, you ain't got any money?
Well, you're having a very modest wedding then. But I think that's the point. We, you know, some weddings are over the top, like too lavish unnecessarily. And sadly, you know, I know of people that have spent that amount of money and then divorced quite quickly. And in my community, parents save really from the day their children are born for their weddings. It's almost like the definition of success in the South Asian community to get married, so it's expected that you will.
So if your parents got a wee fund for you?
Well, I hope they've got a fund, but it's not going to be for my wedding. I wouldn't expect my parents to pay for my wedding, and I think when that does happen, they have a bit of control over what happens. They have probably more say than you, but you know, for me personally, no one in my extended family really talks about me getting married. So I'm a middle child. I've got an older sibling and a younger sibling. And once the older one was married, everybody just started talking about my younger brother. And I was like, well, hang on a minute, what about me? So it's almost like people just assumed that either people don't want to marry me or I don't want to get married. But I was totally erased and still am really out of that conversation.
How does that leave you feeling?
It's such an ironic feeling, because on one hand I'm being told there's no such word as I can't and you're going to do everything in society. But then when it comes to things like marriage, relationships, dating, it's just assumed that, oh, that doesn't apply to me or that's not expected of me.
There's so many contradictions there, though, aren't there?
Yeah.
Because, well, you're a very modern, progressive individual. You know, I mean, who is out there, you know, you're an activist, so you're trying to create a different world. And yet, there must still be a little bit of you that looks at your traditional world and, as you say, says, what about me? But then there's a bit of a disconnect, isn't there?
Yeah, I always feel like I'm actually in conflict. And I feel like that as a British South Asian woman. You know, you go back to India, visit my family, I'm never Indian enough, and here in the UK, I'm never British enough. So it's really hard being a change maker, being in a community, working with it, trying to make it progress. But then you've got, you know, old views, old generational mindsets. You know, it is.
Do you think there's an appetite for change within your community?
Absolutely.
And are your parents proud of what you do?
I think at first we're like, what is she doing? Like, be quiet. What are you doing? But yeah, I think they absolutely are now. Yeah. And look, I made it very clear from a young age. I was like, look, I would never let you choose my clothes, let alone my partner or my husband. So I was like, you don't need to worry about me. So yeah, I think I firmly put my boundary in place.
Your mum did a good job with that can't. She makes a strong, powerful woman.
Sure did. Will you pay for your kids' weddings? I mean, do you assume you'll pay for the girls' weddings?
I have no sense of tradition with it, but my girls are very money orientated. They say, I don't want a big house, I don't want a flash car, I want small things. They're very, you know, conscious sustainability and all of that. So they might choose a life where there's very little money. I don't know. And if nothing would give me more pleasure than throwing a great bit. I'm always saying to them, can I do a party for you? Can I do a party? And it's like, no, Mum, you're so extra. Please don't, you're extra. That's what I'm told all the time. So if I got the chance to be extra, I would love it.
Oh.
But would you want some control? That's the thing.
No.
Oh,
No, I really
come on.
But I can see the drapes.
And definitely the food.
Oh, the food. Oh, my God. Oh, the food's going to be amazing. But I think with that comment that you wrote earlier, I think that's kind of somewhere the mum's fault. If you've brought somebody up that says, hey, aren't you paying for me? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? You've made a rod for your own back there. I don't think my kids would expect anything.
Yeah, and there's a big difference, isn't there? Being able to help people when they don't expect it is a lovely thing, but if there is the expectation,
it's
it's
not even to
completely
help,
different.
just to gift it. 'Cause it's a lovely thing.
It's interesting. We did a poll on this, and I mean, often our polls are kind of split, aren't they? But should parents pay for their child's wedding? 94% said no.
Did they?
Yep. And only 6%
You really
said
surprise
yes.
me sometimes,
Yeah.
you know.
What about UK? Would you pay for your girl's wedding?
Well, they could put in a pitch, and I'll consider it, and
You
then
still
I'll
owe me
get back
minicab
to them.
money.
I do not.
You do. She was talking about that in makeup today.
When
Right,
we went
okay.
to Stacey's house.
Let's go, and I'll find a tenner just to keep her quiet, okay?
35 quid, actually.
35 quid.
My God. OK, I will transfer Linda Robson in the break, 25 quid. After the break.
35.
It's gone up.
Interest now. It was a couple of months ago.